artist, actor, film and music producer Domingo Guyton joins us live.
Ooh.
Can a trippy... Hold up, is that trippy? Can a trippy VR film bring classical music to a new generation? We save the music. Amy Klobuchar, I should have got her name pronunciation after, on getting $15 billion for venues into stimulus bill. Elon Musk says he once considered selling Tesla to Apple. Tim Cook didn't want to take the meeting. Buckle up. Here we go. I'll work on those intros.
Battle to the death, fighting till I take my last breath, till there's nothing left, till this flesh, till this past tense. Got up on the fence, henceforth this intense. I was lost, now a friend, now a force with the pen for the Lord.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Marrio Esco live show. I'm trying to flip it up. I don't like hearing it back, and I was like, I say the same thing every time. The same way.
And you always do
every
a robot
single time.
And with my
like, let's change that up.
I love
Let's get these hand claps.
So I guess I'll just introduce myself. I am Gil Vargas. I'm the co-host. What's up? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente?
Mi gente, I'm gonna do my best to really lock in on you, man, and pay attention, man. You know what I'm saying? What you're saying.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
No,
episode 128.
I'm gonna put the note down right now. Mario
episode 128.
He's gonna hone
I'm gonna do better at
focus
my craft. How about
his
that?
Co-host.
Shout out to our listeners. GH3 Radio, 520 Radio, God's Music Radio,
Yeah.
SCM Radio,
Yeah.
Redeem Project Radio. Shout out to our YouTubers, Facebook, Twitch. Hey, Facebookers.
Is that even
Hop out of Facebook, jump on Marrio Esco Live on YouTube. We're multi-streaming to several platforms, and some of them I can't read.
A bunch of Facebookers.
But jump on the YouTube if you can, please. What up, Twitch, Periscope, The Unashamed Network, Godify. Shout out to our podcasters, Spotify, Apple, Google, and Podbean. We love y'all.
Peter Piper Pick the Pepper podcast.
Be sure to check out d2lproductions.com. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit that bell. All that good stuff that you know you're supposed to do because you hear it 24/7.
Kapling!
On every single YouTube thing. YouTube's getting crazy with their ads too, man. It's getting annoying.
They really are, man.
Check out d2lproductions.com. Check out our music, our merch. Join the email list. Please be sure to call 774-243-0385. Leave a review there. Say what's up. I don't know.
Do whatever you want.
Whatever. Hit the number up. Leave something funny. We might play it on the show as well. Follow Me Live Picks on Spotify. Share the show as you guys jump in. For my podcasters, please be sure to leave a review. Recap last episode, super fire episode. Let me give the hand claps for that.
Man.
And some gems.
A special shout out to Mark.
Special shout out to Mark, man. Really dope. We had an interview with entertainment attorney and Professor Mark H. Maxwell, who kind of broke down his book about networking. Networking kills. I already know a few artists that copped the book, a few artists that saw the TED Talk that he did a while ago, and actually 2018 he did a TED Talk, and it already blessed a lot of artists that have been struggling, man, just hustling in the game and whatnot. So
if you want your whole perspective on networking to be flipped on its head,
definitely go peep that.
Check it out.
Yep. We talked about a new device that puts music in your head without headphones.
Crazy.
And we talked about Terrell 2.0 sharing his input on some of the pitfalls of CHH on an article he wrote on Rapzilla. We featured music, Mitch Darrell.
Make sure you say it right. Put some respect
Chop
on his
It Up
name.
too. Fire Track and Limo Blaze. A little longer. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about this. Let's get right into it. You know how we do. Ladies and gentlemen, actor, film, music producer, editor, teacher, originally from Boston, also represents Worcester, Mass. Currently residing in Atlanta, father, husband, elder who also serves at Blueprint Church. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Domingo Guyton. is in the building. Domingo, what's good, brother?
Yo, what's going on, my people, man? Thank y'all for having me on, man, for real.
I feel like your fro needs its own introduction. You got Domingo and his fro.
Brother, the last time you were on, not new to the show, the last time you were on, it was episode 4, 2018, crazy. Man. I think the first episode I did was with Shadow, and you were the 4th one to come through, and a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, say the least.
A lot has changed since then, brother, man. So you in Atlanta now. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found yourself out in Atlanta?
Well, you know, we moved here because Atlanta is considered the Hollywood of the South. So around 2014, we came here. We won some awards for our short film, YTF. And, you know, my wife, she was feeling the nudge. I was feeling the nudge that God was telling us, man, relocate. I got some stuff to show you. So we came here, and we came here on some straight up Abraham stuff, man. No jobs. We had, we left. My wife was working. She was working at UMass in Worcester, and I was at Worcester State, and I also was working at Springfield College. And we left all 3 jobs, came here to no job. We had no job offers, and we were renting our 2 houses in Worcester. We were renting those to people, and we came to Atlanta and rented somebody's townhouse. Man, people thought we were crazy. They said, you're going to quit both your jobs. You're going to go to Atlanta because God said to go, and you ain't got no jobs. You're going to leave 2 houses in Worcester, and you're going to go rent somebody's house, and this doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
that's usually how we got here.
So, were there ever times where you were confronted by those things? You know, like was there any a time that somebody was like, "Hey, man, this is irresponsible. Like, what you doing?" Did you ever get that kind of stuff or nah?
Well, yeah, I mean, I heard it from a few family members that, you know, my wife had been at the hospital 10 years, and for her to just quit her job, and then I was working at Worcester State and Springfield College for 7 years as an adjunct professor, and to just quit and up and leave, it didn't make any sense. So I heard it from a few family members, and it was scary. We came in, we had no health insurance.
Wow.
So that was another thing. And we have 2 babies, you know, my babies were probably 5 and 3 at the time. And man, to have no health insurance, you're going to go to a new state. That was definitely kind of scary, man. We had no dental. I mean, it was just like, yo, something's got to give.
Yeah.
You know? So,
wow, brother. So I mean, you stuck it out. You eventually landed yourself in the church that you're currently serving at, correct? Was that part of the reason why you stayed out there as well, or like how did the church play into the mix?
Well, the church was huge because, you know, we had been searching for a church, and, you know, churches here, just like a lot of places, are like fast food restaurants. They're all over the place.
Yeah, facts.
So you go up in there, you go up in a fast food joint, or you go up in just any old whatever Chinese restaurant or whatever. You go up in one of these little mom and pop stores, you could get some good food, or you could really get some bad food.
Yo, so you never know what you're gonna get for real. You're like,
and we was getting a lot of bad food going to these different churches.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I got stories upon stories of the different churches that we visited, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is why folks don't want to be Christians, because look at the way y'all act." And so
the gospel. Y'all need to see this food.
So how the church played an intricate role is, you know, I'll try and keep it short because I know we're gonna keep it moving. But my one of my brothers who was on the YTF shoot, he's one of the guys who filmed YTF, and I heard that he had moved here, and I had called him up. I said, yo, his name is Carl. He's actually back in Boston now. Yeah. He's back at Harvard. So I called Carl up. He was living here in Atlanta. I said, yo, Carl, what's up, man? This is Mingo, man. You know, we did the YTF shoot a couple years ago. He said, man, I'm downtown Atlanta right now. We connected, and that brother Carl drove me around Atlanta for a half a day and introduced me to all the people he knew. He was telling me, meet me at this Bible study, meet me here, meet me there.
Wow.
And all the people he connected me to are the people that I'm still connected to now. And then that brother leaves and goes back to
he served part of his purpose down there, brother. Like,
he said, thank you for that. No,
he connected me and then he left. And I've been connected. And so that's how I got connected to Blueprint Church.
Yo, praise God for that, man, because the universal body takes care of the body, right? Like, you know, you out there, you don't know where to go. You don't know what you're going to do. And here's a church of saints ready to take you in and love you and make you part of their own family, man. Shout out to churches like that, man. That's what's up.
And they did a great job, and they're continuing to still do a great job. You know what I'm saying? So we're happily intertwined with the church, man, and it's a blessing. So they definitely played an intricate role in us staying here.
And now you're elder in the church, correct? That's what you're doing there. So was this something that happened like years after the you building with them, or is this something that you went there and it was just a fast process, like you knew that's what you were going to be like going there?
No, this was we've been at the church now about 5 years, and they're always pushing and encouraging us to, where we were living, it was about 35 minutes from the church, and the pastor, he's like, hey man, this is all about reaching your neighbors and those who are around you. Like, you might drive 35 minutes to the church, but your neighbors ain't gonna drive 35 minutes. So why don't you start meeting with people in your neighborhood, and that could be sort of a startup of another church, like literally church planting, which is, and that for a while I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'll just, I'm attending some of the other houses, and we like going over there and just hanging out with those people. But and then he did a sermon probably about 3 years ago. And he's like, man, this is not about your comfort level. It's not about your little clique or your little crew or the people that you like getting around. Like, souls are dying. Your neighbors are not coming to the Lord, and get out of your comfort zone and do what God told us to do, teach all nations. And so, man, we just started opening our home and letting people come in that live close to us. And so we've been doing that now for 3 years. And so we call them city groups. And so we have them all around Metro Atlanta. And so, we've been running one of the city groups out of our home for the past 3 years. We still meet corporately, on Sundays with everyone, but we meet during the week. And that wasn't anything that I was trying to sign up for.
Right.
But it happened, and we've been doing it, and we've been blessed through the process.
How's it been? Like, has it affected you guys with this whole COVID thing? Like, are you guys like still able to meet at the same capacity, or you guys kind of migrated to like Zooming like everybody else?
Yeah, we want to use precautions, so we've been doing both. We've met in person, in which we social distance, and we have masks, and we don't do food or because we usually would meet over a meal all the time. But we don't bring food, because once you bring food, you got to take your mask off, and everybody's talking and eating, and it's like, well, what's the point? So we don't do food, and
people start licking their fingers, and, the food is bomb.
If we do get together in person, we do keep our distance away, and then we split. We had a pretty good sized group, so we would split. The younger ones, then the middle school, kind of split them, and then we would split the adults also, and still. But we do Zoom also. We do use the Zoom. We just use it Sunday to meet.
So how is that for you? Like, for your family, opening up your doors to let people into your home, and you got your wife, your little ones there. Like, how do you wrestle through that thinking? Because I got to be honest, man, hearing you do this, like, I don't think I would be in a position to just open my home like that. Like, pray for me. I need work. And I know we're supposed to, right? Like, we're supposed to open up our home and stuff, but I just, like, I don't know. I wrestle with that. How do you wrestle through that?
Marrio just
for me, again, when he first told me he said, hey, won't you think about starting up your own Citigroup in your home. And I'm like, nah, we're good. So, coming
I
from
lock my doors. What are you talking? I'm trying to keep people out my crib. What are you?
Yeah. Coming from Massachusetts, we ain't trying to hear all of that.
Man.
So, but you know what? God had to do a number on my heart and say, why did I give you the blessings? Do I just give you the blessings to lock your door and shut your door and all your neighbors don't know the Lord? So then we just started inviting the neighbors to come by.
Wow.
And I tell you this, when I started inviting the neighbors, and this was before where we live now, where we were living before, I went out, I was just obedient. I was obedient, and I had made a little flyer, and I had went to all the people who lived directly around me saying, come to our house on this particular night. We're going to get together. We're going to have food. And one guy has said, hey, man, thank you so much for this invitation, man. My wife, she has a book signing and we're not able to come, but thank you so much for inviting us. And come to find out, his wife was a vice president of this big giant record label.
Oh, get out of here, bro.
And I'm not, and I won't say any, I'm not going to do any name dropping, but I mean,
it's real.
It was, she was the real deal, but that was a good lesson for me. God was like, look, go do what I told you to do and let me figure out the rest.
Let me do the rest.
Just do what I'm supposed to do what I'm telling you to do.
In faith,
and that's exact. Like I was out there giving him the flyer. He ended up popping the trunk, gave me the flyer. Me and my wife, we went to the book signing and we saw all the people in the audience. It was just like, okay.
And that's when
that's so funny that you say that, because it's kind of like the lesson that God has really been showing me and Marrio. And then our last episode, it was like a reaffirmation of that. And the conversation was just simply serving. That one of the greatest commands was to love your brother like you love yourself. It was all rooted in serving. And through that serving, God will move. You know what I'm saying? So we have today, you have all these, like the social media people and, the way the algorithms work. You got to do this. You got to seek for these numbers, seek for this, seek for that. But in reality, as a Christian, we have to remember we don't seek for those things. We need to seek for the kingdom of heaven. Facts. And all these things will be added to you. So that's so dope. That's just another confirmation that God was telling you, look, just serve my people, serve their community, serve, and I will do the rest. Come to find out, by you just simply serving, you had a big record label's executive just come through. And she wasn't even part of your plan.
She lived 3 doors down from us.
That's crazy.
And we have been living there 3 years. 2 years we lived there. And this was probably our last 7 months that we lived there that I knew that. And it was just like, oh my, all this time. But see, that's what happens, man. We have blessings all around us and we're not being obedient to what God says to do. And we miss out on our own blessing because we're not serving.
Yeah, because it's serving is selfless, you know what I mean? So it's like it becomes challenging when we live in a world that takes. Everybody around us is trying to get something over us, sell something to us. Even social media, like I've been struggling heavy with social media because as soon as I open it up, it's like somebody's trying to sell something to me. Like no matter what it is, as soon as I open this up, somebody's trying to sell something to me. So you get to a point where like it beats on you, everything beats on you, and then you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna close everything up. And that's that, like you said, that New England mentality that like, yo, every man for themselves, keep your distance. Shoot, I had friends that didn't even know where I lived. Like I didn't even let friends know where I live. That's how I was. I'm like, you ain't gonna know where I live. I can't even trust my own friends. Like I don't know what you're gonna do. Who's gonna rob me? Who's gonna do what? Like I can't trust nobody around here. But it's super dope to see you making that sacrifice simply out of the desire to obey, man. And I think that alone deserves some gems right here. I know you can't hear it, but the gems are dropping. And I think it's encouraging for, Christians out there to take note, man, and really just when you're feeling beat, man, you bring that to the Lord, right? Like when you're tired, when you're exhausted, that's why we go to the Father and we got to cast those burdens on our Father. Like I'm preaching to myself right now.
If there's no better times right now, man, like
facts.
Everybody's being tested like left and
very
right.
True.
Whether it's through lockdowns, whether it's through finances, whether it's through lack of fellowship because of these lockdowns, there's just so much attack, especially on Christians. Because I'm sure if you're a Christian and you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Where you see all these other businesses that are okay to be open, businesses that are super secular, but churches are being attacked and being made sure that they close down because somehow worshiping God is unsafe compared to going to a liquor store or going to all these other types of businesses that are fine. It's okay to be open. So it's like right now is no better time than truly seeing who God really is in your life.
Right.
Who is he really?
When things are really challenging,
because now no matter where you look, there's a trial.
Right. How are you going to respond in the midst of trials, man?
Facts.
That's real talk, bro. That's what's up. Now just switching up a little bit. Was the church familiar with you as an artist and a creative when you first started attending it?
No.
Okay.
No, they didn't. And they were influential in pioneering a lot of Christian hip hop. They were not. Oh yeah, they were not familiar. They were not familiar with us at all. I mean, with me, they were not familiar with me.
So when they became familiar, did they automatically jump behind what you were doing and supportive of what you had going on, or?
They've been supportive, and they also have to kind of be selective, because of this is something that they've had to deal with since the church began. My pastor was, he was part of, the 116, the formation of it.
Oh, get out of here.
He was part, he was in Denton, Texas when he started, the church, and he got the call to come to Atlanta. So they came to Atlanta. There's a documentary that our church put out that talked a lot about, them in Denton, Texas, and coming to Atlanta and just really blazing the path for a lot of what is popular with the Christian hip hop, with some of the artists. So they also have to kind of be mindful and watchful that people come there trying to tap into the connections and the resources that they have. So,
wow,
it is what it is. I wasn't there trying to jump on some kind of ship. I was there literally because that's where God has sent us.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what was going on. I was kind of like, oh man, are you kidding me? Like, look at what is actually, look at what's done. And,
look at God.
So it's kind of like, it was like,
real.
oh man, this is, wow. This makes a lot of sense now. So,
So do you have individuals that be going to the church like thinking they're gonna get like some kind of?
Oh yeah, you get individuals there, and they're there, and
get out of here.
And they're, they'll get in and try to meet with individuals, and some
networking.
Some of the cats that are well known, they're there taking selfies with the people, and and it's just and I guess that's what comes with the territory.
How you feel about that? Tell me how you really feel about that. Like, what are your thoughts when you see that? Does it bother you? Does it like, what?
No, it doesn't bother me because that's just human nature. And
true.
Most of the time, most people that attend church, they don't have that kind of attitude. It will be like guests and stuff, or people who are not familiar. You'll see them come in and they'll be taking selfies and stuff. And it's
in the middle of the sermon, just like run up to the pulpit.
In the middle of the sermon. Hey, to be honest with you, every year that I've been there, every January, Ambassador would preach.
Oh, okay. That's
so Ambassador would, and I said I wasn't gonna name drop, so
no, hey,
but it's, you know,
a little bit humble brag.
Nah.
No, and it's I'm
real
not
talk.
gonna.
It's real
I'm
talk.
saying that to say that, like, you know, he's a down to earth guy. You know, you talk with him after, and you have good talks about the sermon. And you know, he came up for our 10-year anniversary, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, Elder?" You know, and really kind of honing in on the family, and it's more of a family thing than it is trying to get one up on somebody. And
Right, man.
you know, the fact that he was like, "Yo, man, you an elder now. You an elder." You know, he was talking to me, and it just was encouraging to me that you know, he's telling me that, you know, I've been called to do something great, you know, and that I'm doing it. And so that's why I brought that up. I'm just bringing that up, like, you know, it's not about the names, but it's about whoever's in that camp really empowering each other to just be about God's business. And so for Ambassador to come to me and be like, "Yo, man, you're an elder, man," and that just was like, wow, man, that it just took it to a whole nother level for me.
Facts, man. I mean, I'm sure I can imagine that it can be some, you know, you mentioned being selective, you know, and you have to have your guard up, right? Like, you really don't know what kind of fruit people are bearing until you spend some time with them, and then you can kind of realize, you know, and analyze where the motives are. And it might not even be something that's intentional. Like, for me, I fell into a lot of that, brother. Like, I have to apologize to a lot of people. I'm like, I done wrestled with a lot of those things, man. And just it just wasn't familiar to me, which is why part of the reason why we started the show, but with the hopes of helping people understand those things. And, you know, I just felt a sense of responsibility to that, and not wanting to just disappear from a genre that I was confused in and I made a lot of mistakes in. I want to be able to be transparent and let people know about those things. But it's really dope to hear this, because you have artists that might have the motive to say, "I'm going to go down to that church because I'm going to get X, Y, and Z." You know what I'm saying? When you're sharing about, you know, the celebration of an artist and somebody that's well known, a pioneer in Christian hip hop, that is coming to you and is celebrating the fact that you're an elder serving in the local body. Like, it's very encouraging, man. It's like, wake up, you know, to the younger artists, like, wake up and realize that there's a life outside of your art. You know what I'm saying? So how did you, do you ever wrestle with that yourself, being a creative? Like, do you ever wrestle with the two professions, or how you say it, professions and callings, like, because you're gifted at what you do as an artist, I'm sure you have ideas for film and all these other things that you want to kind of like pursue. I'm sure you got scripts in the tuck ready to put her out. So, like, are there ever conflicts between you being a creative and you being an elder serving in your church?
I would say there's no conflicts between the two, but where there is sort of conflict with just being an artist, I do have conflict with that. And the conflict is, you know, I'd sometimes want to go ahead of God. And
man,
I always have to get pulled back. And it's like, you know, it's, you know, I'm like, look, I got something I want to, like, for instance, we were shooting the video that we shot, the WAP video. I wasn't even supposed to shoot that. I was shooting another video, and I wasn't really feeling, it wasn't feeling right. And then the head young woman who was going to be the lead role in the video, she called and canceled 4 hours before the shoot. And when she called and canceled, I was kind of like, thank you, because I wasn't really. This wasn't.
Thank you.
I wasn't supposed to do this one. It didn't. And the next day, he downloaded WAP into my head, and the next day. So, and that is what I was supposed to be doing. But so often, the conflict that I have as an artist is that. And this is something I say to my man Cyrus the Great. I tell him, I say, bro, our ideas are limitless. We have so many ideas.
Yeah.
We just don't have the finances to put the ideas. And if we mess around and try to fund all of our ideas, we'll be just broke, starving artists. And so that's been the struggle, is to have the creativity, but not put the finances up every time I turn around.
Right.
That, I mean, I would just be broke, starving artists, never taking care of the real business, never taking care of the business that God would have us to do. And so the video that I was gonna shoot, and it fell through, and then this came along, and I can just tell you, because I followed and listened to what God said with this video, there's all kind of doors that have already opened because of the WAP video.
Wow, praise God,
and so
bro.
I'm thanking the Lord that he shut the door on the other one, because I wouldn't have had the same response if I didn't listen to him.
Wow. So was the church behind? Because you mentioned WAP, the title. We know where that kind of branched off from. Was the church kind of like, hold on a second, what you doing over here? Like, or was everybody supportive of it? Did you get any pushback?
That better mean worship and praise.
Tell me what that experience was like.
Support. Yeah, my church, my church is definitely on edge. They always have been. And the support. We went to the church. We opened our doors up the first Sunday in December. So when we dropped the video, I remember not last Sunday, but the one before that, we went to church. It had been a week since the video, or 3 days since the video came out or something. And one of the pastor's wife was at the door, and she went up to my daughter and she said, "Well, I got to get an autograph from somebody, because somebody gonna be famous soon. You're gonna be acting like you don't know me." It was cool. My daughter was really encouraged to see that. And so I was encouraging people to show their daughters, show their children, like, it's on edge, but they're going to see the nonsense anyway. So why not let them see the alternative?
Nice. No, I thought it was very, very crafty, cunning. You know what I mean? Like, and you're coming against it with a different perspective. You're shouting out artists that walk with respect and integrity, and that's kind of like the whole point. You got your daughter involved with it as well. And dope. the whole thing. I was talking to you about it earlier. Just that whole experience of you sharing that with your family as well, and sort of leading in that area. Who better than Daddy, who's been involved with this for a minute now? You know what I mean? Like, if anybody's gonna guide and direct a young Christian creative desiring to honor God, I mean, that's such a beautiful blessing, man.
Because just because it's Christian don't mean she can't get sideswiped or
facts.
They're
out there. The vultures are out there.
So I'm glad that she has someone who's seasoned, who's been through it, who's been through the ups, the downs, the sideways, the lefts, and you're able to be like, look, this is what we do. This is why we do it. You know what I mean?
Now, do both your daughters rap or just one of them?
Yeah, actually, my younger one she's really the rapper, the writer.
Oh, get out of here.
Wow.
And the one who was in the video doing it, my younger one wouldn't do it because she's like, "Daddy, you keep saying the S word." I kept saying sex. So she didn't want to do it because I kept saying sex, but she's really the rapper.
She's the rapper. Really the young one's the one to look out for.
And she's just
as far as
that's crazy.
When it comes to writing, but my older one, she's always kind of like, she's the beat maker. She make the beats. She's the drummer, and she make the beats. She's the dancer. She's got the moves.
Yeah,
I can see it. She's the Showtime.
Yeah,
the younger one's like, you can have the limelight. Go ahead.
The other one's behind the scenes, the writer, the thinker, but my younger one wouldn't do it because she said it kept having the S word.
Yeah, she felt uncomfortable with that. All right.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
And now does she have a project out? Because you were mentioning earlier that they have music out.
They do. Okay. They have a project that we called Before the Double Digits, and it's a whole bunch of recordings that they've done since they were like 3 and 5.
Wow.
And I just put them all together.
Double digits. I like
before
that.
the double digits, but my oldest one now is 11 and the younger one's 9. He's getting ready to be 10 in February. So I just documented a whole bunch of stuff that they had been messing around with
so dope.
From birth. And not all of it. They've done like 3 music videos. We got a couple of short films and just showing them the whole process, how you do it. Yeah.
That's encouraging, bro. Do you have any thoughts in the future of like opening up that ability to learn from you in some sort of class or something more formal for like creatives, up and coming creatives or anything like that?
I mean, it's something that I've wrestled with. I've thought about it. This was something that I love. I love teaching. I love teaching, and I've thought about, I've been encouraged to, open up class, online stuff, and it's just another thing that I just haven't done. So I have thought
you got it on the list of things to do.
I mean,
I got you, brother. I got you.
Udemy is a great platform for that because you can create small videos. And they can you could charge whatever it is, and then they pay and they just get access to those clips, like those videos. You could create a whole lesson plan, you could do whatever. But it's a great little side gig. But I recommend it, man, because someone like you has a wealth of knowledge that I'm sure a lot of young creators will be like, yo, I learned a whole lot. Like I learned how to shine my fro. I learned how to get video deals. I learned all types of stuff.
Yeah. So what you got before we jump into the video, man? What do you got planned for the future, man? More music? You got? I know you're working on scripts, more film. Are you still dabbling with film, or what do you got next, man? What's priority right now?
What's on the dock?
Because I know you got a whole list of things going on.
Yeah, priority is to serve my wife. Priority is to serve my mom. My mom lives with us. My mom's been through all the hell I put her through in Boston. So no matter how we kind of butt heads a little bit here and there, mom has been there, and mom gonna be there. Amen. We're gonna ride this until the wheels fall off. So I gotta serve my mom. I gotta serve my 2 daughters, and I gotta pour into them. I told them I've been working on a film. It's been 14 years. On 2021, it'd be 14 years, and it took us 6.5 years just to write the script. So I don't know what's gonna happen with the film. It's in God's hands. It's a film about modern day Peter and telling the story of Jesus through Peter's lens. And so we've been working on it since 2007. And that's why we moved to Georgia. So that's still on the table. It is a high priority. I just don't know what God's going to do with it. So that's there. As far as music, I still have 2 albums that I haven't released, and was toiling around with releasing one in February. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just hold it for another year. I've been holding it anyway. So I don't know. The WAP came out of inspiration. Because of
sometimes those are the best ones.
Yo,
man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Those and then I've created 4 movie soundtrack like songs for people's different films and stuff. I've been doing a lot of those lately. Where I get hired on to, hey, I got this. I've done 4 recently, but in total, I think I got almost like 11 where people have been contacting me saying, hey, this is the name of my film. And this is my synopsis of the film. Can you put a song together? So I've been doing that a lot on the side. So I'll just keep doing that. That's cool. Gives me something to kind of do, and I'll be still praying and working on the film. But the number one thing is serving the family, man. I gotta, and then in serving, now that the girls are home and they're doing homeschool, they have to have music and film class with daddy.
Super dope.
So I teach them writing scripts. I teach them all the shooting. I teach them all the different. Like we've shot a film all through the summer with this little small. Actually, it's right here. We have this little small camera, and this ain't nothing like it ain't. It's like a $200 camera, but we walk around. We've shot 4 films with the thing.
Wow.
I'm showing them camera angles. I'm showing them lighting, what I know, and then editing. And my daughter wrote a book. She wrote a book. And so it's like, that's what I'm like, you know what? forget me, man. Let me just pour into them because I've been doing this 26 years now. Let me give them all I got. My daughter's about to be 12. My other one's going to be 10. I'm going to have another 5 years with her, and then she's going to be doing the high school and college thing. I'm going to have another 7 years with my youngest one. Let me just pour into them what I got for these 5 to 7 years. They're going to be doing the high school and college. I already know how that go, man.
Yeah.
So let me give, I got them for a little bit of time. Let me give them.
Deuces.
Yep.
So that's dope that you're taking the time, the time that you have.
I'm gonna give them what I got, man.
You are like, you are like on the same spirit, bro. It's very encouraging. Like for me, man, like it's almost like I could see another war vet. Like I'm looking at another war vet with scars and bruises and battles, and he's like, you know what? At the end of it all, it's about serving my family. It's about serving the community. It's about opening doors to others. It's no longer this chase. Remember when you were young and you were like, I only got a little bit of time. I got to make this pop. I got to, and you're on this paper chase, this fame chase, whatever it is. And then you get to a point where you're like, hold on, this is all fading. This is all just temporary. This is all, and then you kind of like, thank God, you kind of sit back and like, man, thank God I didn't get caught up. Imagine you would have got caught up. Imagine they would have entrapped you and said, yo, we really recognize your talent. You're super dope. Here's a contract. And now when you grow to where you are now and you say, I just want to serve my family. Sorry, you got some obligations. And you're trapped up and you have to follow the crowd. You have to follow because you got to make the dollar back. You have to make the dollar back. So if the crowd is going completely opposite to what we're called to do as Christians, guess what all the organizations of business are going to try to make you do? You have to bend. I mean, you have to. For the dollar, you got to bend. But you have the freedom, brother, to be inspired and say, you know what? Today, I feel like writing a song. Today, I feel like recording. There's freedom. We forget. There's freedom in that. Be careful what you ask for because you might catch yourself up behind bars. You might be imprisoned to money, to fame, to fortune. You know how they say sell your soul? Like you might be imprisoned to that contract and now you can't even get out of it. Yo, so praise God for your maturity, bro. It's very encouraging, man.
But if he got caught up in it, he would have missed out on the golden times.
Right,
with his family and his kids and his daughters. Like,
facts.
So that's super encouraging. We sometimes look for the external blessings when they're right in front of us. And you having your daughters, your wife, like those are the blessings, but we sometimes get so caught up in the miscontentment of ourselves, if that's even the word, that we look externally and we're like, man, I'm trying to get this blessing. I'm trying to get this blessing. God's like, dude, I gave you there's 2 blessings right under your nose, bro. You're literally holding one.
Yes, man.
What's amazing, and that's why I give enough love and respect to Worcester because, Worcester really shaped my music. And it was actually my brother Kaz. He's a old school producer in Worcester. And we had 3 separate deals on the table. And with my music, when we did My Ride in 1999 and Beantown Wartown was the anthem that we did, and that was like just a banger hit. And he wouldn't sign nothing. Even to this day, I'm like, yo, man, why didn't you want to sign it? But I'm thanking the Lord because, I'm thanking the Lord that he didn't because
facts.
We had a deal out of Houston, Texas. They sent us the contract. I forgot the name of the record label, but they sent us a contract. And he wouldn't sign that. I had another brother who out of New York that wanted to put our music on TV shows and television stations, and he wouldn't sign that contract. And there was one track that I own 100% of all the rights, and I let that one song go. And that one song, I'm still getting checks today from that one song.
Praise God.
And that was 21 years ago.
Wow.
And then
when you hit one, it's good, huh?
And I gave him the clean version. I'm so glad I gave him the clean version.
Man.
I gave him the clean version. And so it was the Houston, Texas It was
I have to ask this now. If it would have been the dirty version,
would you have taken it down? Before I forget that one, it was Houston, Texas deal. It was the gentleman out of New York, and the third one was the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, they wanted to play the Beantown Wartown song in the stadium. And this was 1 year before Bledsoe got hurt and Tom Brady came on. They wanted to play it in the stadium.
Wow.
And he wouldn't sign. He wouldn't sign that. He wouldn't sign any of those papers either. So, but you know what? Glory be to God. Man.
Amen, bro. Amen, brother, man. That's what's up,
But
bro.
now I gotta ask a question. If it would have been the dirty version,
would you
have taken it down and not take the checks anymore and be like, you know what, man, I'm a man of God. I don't want that out there, so I'm gonna take it down. Or would
signed for that one song? I signed 100% publishing, so they control the song for life.
Hey, you just get a check.
I
so you clean. You clean, brother. hey, you clean.
I was an unbeliever when that happened, so
keep the checks coming in. Praise God. You never know; it might lead people to your music, bro. And now here you are with
take this check right here.
Like,
and I'm
look at Domingo. You're making a turn red, bro.
This is good though. This is good, man. I'm good.
All right, brother, man. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna jump into WAP. You got anything? Do you want to leave the audience with anything, anywhere, links or anywhere that they can follow you?
Before we do that, this is not Cardi B's WAP.
Yeah.
So don't change the channel now and be like, Marrio and Gail went left. Let's leave. This is Domingo Guyton's version of WAP. Go ahead, take it away.
Go ahead, brother.
Man, I just want to, my last thoughts, man, is just, man, much love to you brothers, man. Y'all are sticking it through. Y'all started this stuff way before the pandemic. And now you have a machine that's oiled and you all are continuing to learn and continuing to perfect. But brothers, man, thank y'all so much for having me on, man. Much love to y'all and keep up the great work, man. You guys are blazing a path, man. And it is on fire.
Yo, thank you so much, brother, man.
Keep up the great work, man.
Honored,
thank
bro. And honored to have you on. Yeah, absolutely. Honored to have you on. And real talk, man, you blessed me, dude. Like I almost forgot we had a show, man. Like you really hit home for me. I'm gonna follow up with you afterwards. I hope you don't mind. I hit you up tomorrow. But this was a major blessing for me too, as well. I might go back and listen to the show just to relive all the stuff that you've been sharing. I want to give
enough love to Mike Mack for for his work. Him and Applejacks, they really helping me with my old. You saw me in the video with the gray hair and everything in the wheelchair. so I'm really like that when it comes to the digital age and everything that needs to happen. So Mike Mack and Applejacks, man, enough love to those brothers for helping me out, man.
Dope, brother. It was an honor. Till next time, brother. Don't be a stranger. You're more than welcome anytime, my dude.
You didn't say where to find your stuff or
facts,
anything like that. Links or websites.
DomingoGuyton.com. DomingoGuyton.com. You get it all.
Dope. All right, Domingo. We love you, bro. Till next time.
Love you too, brother. Thanks a lot, y'all.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Dope. Here is WAP, Domingo Guyton.
They put me in the cockpit. All your lies, I would drop it. Sound sex in the video, stop it.
Sound sex in the video, stop it. Y'all out here lying to these girls. Stains in your hands like you're eating cheese curls. MC like, yo, they paper thin. They say ignore him cause he's hating then. Queen Latifah, ladies first. Moni in the middle had the 80s verse. I was never born gangster like the boss is. Deeper than that, go count the cost. Salt and pepper, selling sex. Soon all the ladies will be yelling next. I had to flex, couldn't pay me to stay rob and pray. Like the lady of rage, I rock rough and stuff with my afro puff. Unnecessary roughness, that's what's up. Funkified like the brat. Telling no lies, Michelle's track. Lauryn Hill was the hit of the Fuji. You must have a miseducated schooling. Idiots be like, wait, nah, nigga. They go into flip mode like raw digger. But you can't stop the rain, Missy. Before you start to complain and diss me, let me blow your mind like Eve the Black Mamba, Beauty and the Beast Rhapsody.
About time they put me in the cockpit. All your lies, I would drop it. Sound sex in the video, stop it. Women as prophets. About time they put me in the cockpit. All your lies, I would drop it. Sound sex in the video, stop it. Woman that's profits.
Y'all out here lying to these dudes. Grease on your hands like you're frying food. Saw porn is your music video. Young girls wanna be like you really, yo. There's plenty of women who rap about nonsense, but many more who are now conscious. I'm giving them flowers so they can devour the cowards that's stuck on that nonsense. You don't gotta pose in front of the camera, letting everyone see your bread manna. I'm a name drop, women I listen to, YouTube them, so you can listen to K. Sade. One day, Samantha White will blow one day. Nita Rose and G.A.V. He's Son Lee, Jackie Hill Perry, AI the anomaly, Lisa B, Shinny Lee, London E on the beat, Kelly Diaz and Kelly Glow, Mahogany Jones and Light the Flow, Lauren Michael, Portia Love, Kayla Stark, sparks from above. I'm Kai, Erica Mason, Latoria Wilson. No matter what you facing, they wanna rebuttal me, but I got Rima Soul like Butter P. DJ KB, DJ Elas, DJ Smiley, not another B. Serious voice, my sister Terrell, Joe Beasy, yo it ain't hard to tell. Keisha Dreams, Lady Grace, it's time for the men to get these ladies space, yeah.
About time they put me in the cockpit. All your lies, I would drop it. Sound sex in the video, stop it. Woman that's profits. About time they put me in the cockpit. All your lies, I would drop it. Sound sex in the video, stop it. Woman that's profits.
Dope. That's what's up. Shout out to Domingo Guyton. That was WAP featuring Casera. Guyton, his daughter.
So dope, man, having his daughter in the track.
Facts. That was actually, let me get off this interview thing. There we go. Super dope, man. Very, very encouraging. Prophetic almost.
Yeah.
Prophetic, man.
To say the least.
To say the least. That was a blessing, man. Not even just like him doing the video with his daughter, you know, and just that the way he answered that last question is just like, man, I honestly wasn't expecting that.
Me either.
I thought he was gonna be like, yo, I got this.
Yeah, I got that next project.
I was not expecting
album.
that. And then when he said that, I was like, oh man, the Lord just blessed me right now. Thank you, God. Cause it's been a difficult
I know.
It's been a difficult trial, man. But
Mar's been like wilding.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Just
wilding, man.
Just gonna put it out there for everybody. Hey.
Whoa, you're saying it like it was so prophetic to me. It was a good thing that happened because you don't even know.
Yeah.
No, but for real, I mean, we all going through it. If you really think about it, man, there's not one person.
Baby, I'm not
there.
blurred, right? Am I good? Are you watching this? Fun? I'm not blurred, right? The last two episodes I was blurred and it bothers me.
I feel like everybody is going through it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's not one person out there who is going through this pandemic, going to work, dealing with all the stresses of work, coming home to the family and bills, and some people don't even have jobs. Some people have struggling with their jobs. You know what I mean? So it's a refreshing thing to hear somebody who completely uprooted his life, went out to a whole nother place, and is now still doing what he wants to do in regards to serving in music and all that. But to hear that perspective change from like, nah, I'm not really chasing for myself no more. Now I just want to serve. In the midst of all this, man, I can understand that, man. That's super encouraging.
Facts. In a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, it's encouraging, man. I'm really like just again blown away by his response. Like if it was me in that situation, I'm like, all right, what I need to promote, like you know what I'm saying, like all right, what I need to. But now that's slowly changing over time, like you know,
due season, man.
You get those wounds, you get those scars, you mature in those wounds and those scars. You know, Bible says when you meet trials of various kinds, to how's it go? To endure, you know, to endure.
Basically.
And endurance produces steadfastness, that produces something. There's some order to that, but
there's some order.
Pretty much it leads to character. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like You won't be able to build that character without those situations where you're being tempted and tried.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it's meant, in a way, it's meant to it's beating the flesh up, right? And part of the flesh getting beat up is...
neglecting it, too. Because I'm sure the flesh desires to do what you were thinking he was going to do, which is promote self, promote projects, promote, you know what I mean? And you could see it. It's also like, he's like, nah, you know, I'm done. Like, not that I'm done with the art, but that I'm done looking for myself. Like, I'm now going to pour into my family.
Facts.
Because he's still not done, like, clearly. He did a music video with his kids, so, and that's even better. The fact that he gets to share his art, pour into them, and still be a part.
Facts.
Still be part of the process, part of the creation.
Dope. Let's jump into these topics we didn't study at all. First one up.
I'm really excited to tackle this, especially after announcing.
Bro, I told you what's up. We're going in this, so I'm not gonna save face. I'm gonna just go right into this stuff exactly the way it is.
There's no
VR film.
There's no saving face, especially when you're telling people you didn't study this at all.
No, not at all. All right, this last minute topic: VR film brings classical music to a trippy.
No, but this is
VR film.
I don't know even why they
bring classical music to a new generation. Yay! I'm thinking, dude, I was actually thinking of canceling today. And like the illest part of this whole show, it's like that first half of Domingo just blessing us.
What do you mean, man?
Now I gotta go into this.
This is a dope topic.
I'm like, yo, the producer. If we had a producer, he'll be coming in right now, like the producer. Too bad,
so
y'all.
You guys didn't see it, but Mario has a mirror right here.
Oh my goodness! I'm looking at somehow my reflection is doing it. Like no. I'm not saving face today, bro. All right, what's up with this VR? All right, so there's a film that came out. Somebody used for VR in a theater that included. It's called Symphony. It's this virtual reality film, and it has orchestral music going on, and so it is a film. Like you walk through a story, but then there's this one part where it's all an actual performance.
Yeah, it's
at a theater.
Two. It has like a 12-minute section. The first is shown on the giant screen, and it follows the young musicians in Spain and the US and Colombia, and they practice their instruments to move through like landscapes and stuff like that. But the idea is dope because they're reviving something that isn't really being done right now because of the whole COVID and blah, 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 blah. So you get to still enjoy a classical, orchestra, type of environment. But now, because it's VR, you get to enjoy like these landscapes and visual effects. So it's kind of sick. Like if you see, like there's pictures of the people, like it almost looks like a movie theater. Everybody's distancing, wearing masks and all that. But they're wearing the whole VR thing and the headphones. So it's like it takes you into this world like that they created with this film and the landscapes. I think this is gonna be the future right now because with everything going on, everything is closing down.
Actually, that is a great point that you brought up because I was thinking that. I was like, what's the next wave? What's
going to be virtual reality?
Hey, I think you're spot on. I think the next investment is virtual reality because, like you said, people can't get out. You give them the opportunity to somehow connect in a more personalized, I guess, I don't want to say personalized, but in a more familiar environment. Like something in front of you, the person is sitting right next to you.
Yep.
Thank you, my love. But I think that you're right. I think that that's gonna be the next. This is the if there's any time to really invest and step up the VR world, this is the time to
think
do
about
it.
You got people like Travis Scott who went on that platform for Fortnite and did a concert within the game. And it was like,
but that wasn't even VR.
I know. So now imagine if they brought that same concept, a concert hip hop, whatever.
In VR.
And in VR. And you can look around, you can see people, you can see other people that are enjoying the concert with you.
The one thing they have to
It's
work
almost
on.
like you could bring back the same feeling now. I mean, post COVID, where you can invite your friends.
Dude, imagine
all
Marrio
go
Esco
with your
live
friends.
VR.
Yo, that'd be crazy.
Like you can have seats here, like people can chill.
literally sit in the studio and be like, man,
Yo,
I thought this was a cool studio.
Man, this is
in reality,
in this is your bedroom.
Reality,
No, first of
is
all,
your
if it was
bedroom?
virtual reality, I would make it look dope. Like
no, because we don't save face.
in reality, this is your bed is on the other side. What's going on?
It's like your wife was
This is not
always
a-
sleeping at
this
the
is-
end of the on the other side of the show this whole time.
Yeah, this is actually not a table. This is like
It's a box spring.
yeah, exactly. No, man, I think that's
I think that's
going
gonna be the new wave.
Yeah.
The next thing is gonna be movies.
They need
Imagine
to-
enjoying a movie like that where you can look in other
Dude,
places.
first of
other
all,
than what's happening.
I have a friend we have a friend that has the VR, and they have short films where you can actually experience and walk around in a
See,
short
that's
story.
crazy.
Like there's an actual animation. It's like almost like a Disney Pixar type story, and it's a short film, but you're in this one space. Right? So you can walk around and investigate that one space, but the whole story takes place in that one space. So seasons pass and you'll see like winter and then, how's it, spring, summer, fall. Like you'll see the seasons around you, like going, you can walk over here if you want.
crazy.
The further you walk away from the characters, you can miss the story. You can walk away and miss what they're saying because the further you get, the more you can't hear them. It interacts with the scenery.
And that's crazy because
Isn't that crazy?
You're in your crib. So you go to your room.
You'd be like, yo, forget this movie. It's like, no, you're in my movie. You can't be walking around. Like, what are you doing?
Yo, especially
You get lost in the
if
movie.
the movie reacts to you. Like, what
You
the
get
heck?
lost.
It's like, excuse me, we're having a movie over here.
No, they get mad. They're like, can you come back over here? We're filming.
We're trying to entertain you.
you're just wandering
Like,
into
your
the
movie's
world.
boring.
I'm gonna go make my own movie within their virtual reality. Yo, that's
That's what I'm saying.
crazy.
And then now you got an orchestra,
that's
so you can go
funny,
up there
man.
and like try the instruments. Like,
Yeah, yo, give me that.
Can I try this
Just
violin
grab
real
an
quick?
instrument out of somebody's head.
yeah, you
Start
can.
bullying the virtual musicians. Like, yo, yo, give me that itch. I can play that better than you.
Well, I don't know what that's called, but those stick thing, just put it on their nose.
You just stop
that's
messing
why
with
they're
them.
playing with it. Like, stop.
That's virtual bullying. That's going to be the next cancer.
Virtual
That's the
bullying.
next cancer culture. He virtual bullied.
That's when the
Did you
virtual
know that?
reality character looks up and goes, "You're not wearing your mask.
Oh, wow. Studies show.
Can you please get 6 feet apart?
6 feet in the virtual world? Wow. That's not too far.
You got
man.
virtual Rona.
So the only thing missing with the virtual world is the touch senses and the smell senses. Like
That's the next
That's
thing.
gonna be the next thing that they work on. Like, how can we get the smell and the touch?
they got the 4D, like, but that's like in studios, like in
In
movie
theaters, yeah.
and they spray you and
or
they have
the
smells.
seat moves, or
So I
things
mean,
splash.
it's only a matter of time until they figure out a way to bring it to your crib.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
Yep. Then there's no need to go out. It really, you
I mean, Oculus,
live life
like
in
that
the virtual
company
world.
has all types of stuff. They have these platforms where it's like a circle, and then you go inside, and you have to wear these special shoes, and you can walk on that platform, and you move in the game.
Yo.
Yeah, it's Oculus Rift. They make these products. It's mad expensive, but you have the
Well,
goggles.
they're gonna make
you
it
have the
affordable.
hand things, and then you have. It's almost like a round little stage, and it has like a cage around you, obviously, so you can't fall out. And you have the special shoes, and you can slide and you run like in the game. Cause think about it, if you're in your crib, you can't walk around. You're gonna bump into something.
Yeah.
So they invented that, so
Yeah,
you can
so you
kind of
can-
still walk around.
Can you imagine virtual jobs?
Virtual.
Wow. If it's like all a program that does something instead of you learning the program,
I think that's what it's gonna be.
like it's a physical thing that you got to
If
do.
Corona if this thing don't end,
I'm gonna get a virtual
eventually
job.
the company's gonna be like, you know what, we're gonna go virtual.
We're gonna have-
We're gonna get you an
Virtu-
Oculus Rift.
you quit
And,
virtually, like I'm done, and you walk out. You don't even take the thing off. You actually leave it on and walk out. Like you drive off. I
You get a
quit.
fake virtual car.
I virtually quit.
This is dumb.
Here's my virtual resignation. Here's my virtual resignation. And then you do one of Gil's moves that he did when you just quit and then
Oh, why?
Yes.
Oh, so you put me on blast now.
and he drives off, beeps his horn, make sure everybody looks at the window.
That's the resignation.
Hits
just
the
pops
gas,
up.
the tires spin out, and he just takes off with a nice wave out the
I
window.
wasn't Christian at that time, okay?
Oh,
I
you were
wasn't
Christian at that
No, I
time.
was not Christian at that time. Oh, maybe I was.
You were Christian at that time,
Yeah.
brother.
Hey, man, I was in my flesh.
Oh, I was one of them going to the window. I was like, is that our
Yep.
cook?
Like,
Hey, wait a minute, is that our cook? And then I was like, is lunch ready? Or
it's ready.
oh, it's burnt. But you didn't just leave.
It's ready.
You burn everything.
It's ready to be thrown away.
True story. Cool, man. So is there anything else with this virtual
Moral
thing?
of the story is don't talk about my food, man.
Yeah, virtually.
Even virtually.
It's my virtual.
No, but
resignation.
honestly though, this is where it's gonna be. So everybody, save your pennies because you're gonna be investing in some kind of virtual reality rig at some point in time.
Yeah, man. Creatively speaking, like, how can you? I wonder if they have like cheaper versions of software where you could start messing with virtual reality worlds. Because imagine if you can make a music video, a virtual reality music video.
Well, didn't somebody do that recently?
Oh, well, you mentioned Travis Scott, but that was more like
No.
a Fortnite thing.
They did like the 360 view. And
360.
but I'm sure if you put an Oculus,
Oh yeah.
you could probably look
You're
around.
talking about was
it
it
a Christian
Jay
artist that did
Givens?
that?
Was it
Jay Givens? Yeah.
When he was,
I'm sure if you owned an Oculus,
he was doing
ahead of his
He was
time.
doing some things, bro.
he was ahead of his
When
time.
he did that video was dope. It was wasn't it with Beautiful Eulogy and all them
Yep.
cats?
And you could literally, he was in a cookout.
It was with Humble Beast.
And everybody was doing something, and you could.
Yes!
It's a music video, and you can look.
Yo,
around.
that's facts. Go check that out. Actually, man, I forgot the name of the video, but that was ahead of his time. That
Yep.
was fire.
So if
bro.
you had the headset and put that video on, you probably would have been able to just be like,
oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
you can do that.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's already been happening. So now, hey, artists out there,
And you know what was dope about
Think
that
about
is
it.
that it was just a normal cookout, but he had people doing different things. So
Somebody was playing
would-
cards.
Yeah.
Somebody over there was doing hopscotch.
So you can
You
have
know?
literally 6, 7, 8 different experiences
Yep.
watching the music video because you
Yeah.
could watch the game and see who won,
Facts.
or you could watch
Or
the
if
craziness
you having
that's
like,
happening
if
behind
it
the
was like a
scenes.
collab where you had like, it was almost like a cipher, you could look at whoever you want to look at
Facts.
while the person's rapping. You almost feel like
So-
you're in the cipher.
It's kind of scary though, because like if you slip, like if one of the battlers like slip up and show fear, they're like, oh, they can see me. Like
Either
somebody-
fear or they
somebody
pick their
mess up.
nose or something.
Yeah, like you're always on camera. Like you better.
It's like, oh, here
No
goes
saving
this dude
face.
Always thinks he could rap. Man.
he's reciting his bars. He got it. He has
He's
it on the
reading
palm
it
of
the
his,
whole time.
He has it on the palm of his hands.
I'm doing it for the city.
He's like, why is that on my hand? I didn't write that. Remember that one time? I forgot what battle it
I
was.
said that. I said that.
I said that. I do it for the city. Oh man.
Oh,
All right, VR's dope.
yeah, man. That's the wave of the future, man.
Cool.
It is the wave.
Let's see. We saved the music, Amy says.
No, that's actually super dope. Don't try to downplay that. That's
What?
$15 billion, bro.
$15 billion for venues into the stimulus bill
That's crazy, man. So a lot,
due to the pandemic.
the biggest thing that's been hit with this whole pandemic has been venues, whether it's restaurants, movie theaters, salons, all types of venues, theaters, museums, talent agencies, like they were hit the hardest because think about it, they specialize in events with multiple amounts of people, where nowadays that is frowned upon. So Amy Klobuchar and John Cornyn, I'm not sure if I said it right.
Senator Amy Klobuchar.
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 There's no.
And John Corin.
Wow, they're Spanish. Introduced the Save Our Stages Act that embarked on the
$10 million to venue owners. That was back in July.
Yep. So it looks like Trump is expected to sign that soon. It's part of the $900 billion stimulus bill that he is trying to, put out. And
he's signing into law on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's going to be signing that real soon. So
it allows independent venues, Broadway theaters, museums, talent agencies to apply for grants up to $10 million through the Small Business Administration, so that keeps jobs up and running because of the pandemic. There's no money coming in. They can't pay anybody.
Right.
Yep. Everything's closing down. It's like, and you were mentioning that for a virus that is, what was it, 97%? And we keep saying this. It's like, how is it that this show that packages dumb? How is it that like we point out some obvious things, and it's like we live in a world that they just totally bypass the obvious things and jeopardize our entire economy? I'm not an economic expert, you know what I mean? So
because
are we missing something here, or what?
Well, because there are a lot of deaths. There are a lot of deaths that shouldn't have happened. Even one death is too many. And I think that's what makes it so charged up and why there's such a panic, because there are a lot of deaths. But the studies have shown, and this is CDC information, this is not our own opinion, studies have shown that majority of the people that have passed, unfortunately, had multiple issues. It wasn't like there were few that were healthy, but it's still rare. But the majority, the bulk of the deaths were people who had multiple illnesses, which sadly, it ended up taking their lives. But CDC have put it out there themselves that the survival rate is 97%. So it's not as crazy as the numbers show. Like, it's hard to it's hard to explain, because you see 200 something thousand deaths, but yet the somehow the survival rate is 97%. So it's like you have to weigh it all out. You have to look at the statistics. You can't just base it off of what the news say, because the news have agendas. Whatever their agenda is, whether they hate a president, whether they hate a bill, whether they hate the way things are being handled, there's always some sort of agenda. So you have to do your own research. What we do know, that is 100% fact, is businesses are suffering ridiculously. They're getting closed down, people losing their livelihood, people losing their jobs, people losing their homes. So this is I believe is a good step. It's going to help a lot of people, especially businesses that we love and enjoy.
Yeah, but does it? Because you have people saying that, talking about just the regular stimulus. I'm not talking about supporting businesses, but just like people, civilians, and
yeah, and that's a whole other issue, because it's only like $600, I guess.
And somebody didn't you say a politician was saying?
Yep, that's another thing that upset me, because, like I said, people are losing a lot. And I just recently saw a video of a politician speaking against this bill and saying, we can't just keep printing out money, which I understand that aspect of it. I get it. We are in a humongous deficit. I think he said right now we're at $27 trillion. Dude. Like, I don't even know that I can't even fathom a number like that.
Does civilian debt follow you? So like, if you were to bounce,
and that's what he was saying.
Does that follow you?
He was saying, like, if the debt continues to rise up, then the value of our dollar is going to dwindle to nothing. And really, what we're doing is we're passing
as a nation, we're just passing.
We're passing on a debt to our children. When we're long gone, they're the ones that are going to inherit this $27 trillion debt. But at the same time, the part that I was upset with is it's easy to tear down a bill. It's easy to talk about the negative things that are coming with it, which I understand. But then you have no remedy. You have no ideas.
¿Qué es la remedy?
You know what I'm saying? And one of the ideas I thought of is why politicians so overly paid. You have $500,000 salary for politicians. For what? So I think some cuts could be made. You know, if the stimulus is too much and the deficit is too high, we can make some cuts on some of these politicians' pay and maybe use some of that for some stimulus. I think if we cut some of that on all the politicians, we'll probably be able to cover the stimulus. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I ramble.
So basically, we're printing out money that has no value. Again.
Monopoly.
Again.
We got monopoly money right now at this point.
So this stimulus is just like, the stimulus is just like what?
So if you're in debt and you're avoiding your bill collectors and you're like, yo, I'll put something on it. Imagine the United States.
I got 5 on it.
What collector is calling the United States like, are you gonna pay your bill? I put something on it.
I got 5 on it. Is not even that good anymore. Like you gotta
your 5 is actually worth 25 cents.
Putting 5 on it, like that's silly now. Like what are you doing? You got to put 15 at least. Like
15.
Put 5 on it.
Put 15 on it.
And even 15 is silly. Like what are we doing? At that point, just cough up the one. What is it now? Like 220. All right.
220.
What else is 225? Something like that. So that's man.
That's where we're at. $15 billion to venues. Hopefully this works out. $900 billion stimulus.
You know I'm there, girl. You know I'm there.
Eventually. We'll get there. It is what it is.
Oh, yeah, man. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Yo, pray for all the people that lost their jobs. Everybody's feeling it. Businesses are going out. People have invested in businesses, you know what I mean? Man. And people are sitting on businesses right now that they invested in and just started up.
Big shout out to our dude, Brett.
Shout out to Brett, man. We love you, brother. In the midst
of this craziness, he started his own barbershop, yo. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Mission Barbershop.
Let's do it. Hand claps.
Super dope.
And prayers for him. Like, real talk. Like, prayers for the people that for everybody, you know, at this point. Right now, like, here's my struggle. My struggle right now.
This is a great thing. If you know somebody who has a business, support them.
Facts.
Buy something.
Yo, facts,
make an appointment.
Thank you. Gems right there. Buy a Marrio Esco live shirt. How about that?
If you're watching this show and you ain't bought a shirt yet.
Thank you to those who have. Thank you to those who have. You're a blessing.
Yeah, for real. We love y'all. But if you haven't bought a shirt and you watch the show and you consider yourself a fan.
Buy a shirt and show me you a fan. No. Just start bullying people. Like, you get to a point where you're like, yo, don't even jump on this live if you ain't buying a shirt. Like, you just get to that.
For real, man.
You just get to that point. No, praise God, I'm not there. But
yo, man, and if you do buy a shirt,
you're right.
Send us a pic, yo.
Not taking away from what you were just saying. Yeah, support.
Yo, support your friends, support family that have businesses and stuff like that, because this is the solidarity that needs to be happening. Like, a lot of people are like, we need to be aware of each other's feelings, and I get that, but you know, there's a lot of people who are suffering because they have businesses. They put their money on the line. They put their families on the line to create better lives for themselves. And this pandemic is destroying people's lives. So, you know, somebody, black businesses, Latino businesses, whatever businesses that you know of someone.
What about the white ones?
The white businesses.
Like, what are you doing?
All the businesses.
Like,
what about the white ones? There's no white businesses.
I was speaking for the, you know, I have to be a voice of like the other different audiences.
Yes. all shades.
What about the white one? You made it about this, about skin color, man. I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
you made it about culture.
We Latino.
If you know a Latino that has a business,
well, I'm Latino, so of course I'm gonna mention the Latinos.
The white guys, nah.
They own the world. They are.
Yeah, they're good.
Right now, they're probably agreeing, like, yes, help the Latinos, help the blacks.
They probably agreeing.
Help them.
All right, yo, let's jump into another track and then we'll finish up with whatever topic we got next.
Yeah.
Here's Weez, the Satellite Kid. I hope I said that right. Just chill. Weez, the Satellite Kid. Just chill.
Weez, the Satellite.
The Satellite Kid.
No, I just want to make sure that's what you're saying. The Satellite.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Here we go. Just chill.
Let's go.
settle, seek settlement in my soul. Precious cargo, pat shoulders, lessen the blows, elective it, explode, corroded with explorative things. Snapshot it and sinks. Multiple cup and two piece, a deal piece, piece, I'm puzzled. Muzzle my rebuttal, it bubble up. I'm in trouble, the trouble is potent like liquor lace in the glass. My past, too present perspective from two sections like whoa, it's too good and whoa, it's too wretched. I'm rested and rest under, I'm tested and test under meaning. Middleman, I'm needing plasma screening. Points a halo, I'm under plasma screening. I know my plasma needed. It's out for seed and seek the source up with laborers. The deacon from my brow and birth the baby in contaminants. Minutes in this minute, smart melanin, really the evidence, and evidently I'm in it.
It's like just chill. Just chill. Just chill. Just chill. Beginning of the woes of man is the trend of disobedience. Everything that we deal with deals with disobedience. And the number one thing that they didn't do was call for God.
Pin it to the panties on Paul. Pin it selling with my painting on pause. Pick it fits with the tricks to Paul. Different dealer when dealing with a demon. Daddy did it and I'm destined to fall. Benefited if flaw. Little lady, let me light it for y'all. Reptilians, reptilians, say, path not paid for the swift, for the great, but the grace in my lungs when I press on. Burn on to the ground like a palm with my face in the palm. Palm what I preach, push for the low like a trench with a cold, but I don't deal hoax. Learn from a downfall, down on till I'm dealing with the consequences. Consequently, content me, subtle, simply 10% me. Oh, yeah. 40, 50 in the frenzy, add a 50 ribbon in the sky. Yeah, on with my seed in the sand trap. Nah, I just wanna see in the soft soil. Label for the fragile, and the band-aid symbolize hope. Yeah.
Yo, this is Lane Classic.
Dope. That was Weez, a Satellite Kid. Just chill. Super talented brother, man. Shout out to the Satellite Kid.
Yeah, bro.
It's the worst time to be a podcaster or radio host with all these names that are like, am I pronouncing this right? Am I pronouncing?
We apologize.
What happened to like Michael Jackson, Prince, like Britney Spears, Justin. It's like those are names. Say your name like, wrong, no, I'm just kidding. They're actually looking at me like, you're the dummy who can't pronounce.
Seriously, it's Darrell.
You're no kidding, man. Like you're the fool. Like nah, you got that. You're right. All right, man. Elon Musk.
Yo, this is crazy.
Says he once considered selling Tesla to Apple. Tim Cook didn't want to take the meeting.
Did you have to say it like that?
And why didn't he want to take the meeting, Gil? He wasn't interesting.
It didn't really say exactly
was
why.
It Elon Musk was just trying to buy Apple? Like he was saying that he's trying to sell.
No. He was trying
Tesla
to sell
to Apple,
Tesla to
but
Apple.
he's sneakily like, all right, I'm going to sell this one car to you guys if you guys give me 60% of your business.
No,
like
I mean, the article was saying that he wanted to
business.
let go. Like he just wanted to give.
He didn't even want it.
Yeah, he just was like, nah, y'all can have this if you want.
Okay.
And they declined. Because it was rumored that Apple wanted to get into the car, industry. So he was like, all right, wanted to set up a meeting. And they said no. And I thought that would have been crazy. Tesla powered by, Apple, or if they renamed it and put Tesla, I don't know. Or Asla. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said that either.
Wow. Okay. What it must say, he said maybe they meant cells bonded together like our structural battery pack.
Yeah, because the battery that they use is similar to the ones they use, but he created a battery that's strong enough to power a car. Like, you know what I mean? And so it would have been a great fit, but Apple was not trying to have it. They were like, nah, we're good. And I don't know if they're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Regretting the idea?
Check this out. In 2018, Musk publicly said the car business was hell and that he was sleeping at the factory to try to solve problems the company was having as it tried to start mass manufacturing its Model 3 electric sedans.
Yeah.
He was sleeping at the factory.
That's
like,
crazy.
yo, a lot of people look at like a Elon Musk and they aspire to be something great. And
guess what, guys?
Oh my goodness.
He was sleeping at the factory.
Look at Elon Musk. He's the modern day Tony Stark of our time. He's the Iron Man who invents all this cool stuff. He's the, and everyone aspiring to be these entrepreneurial inventors and wanting to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like figures of, I don't know, success or whatever it is. Yo, it takes you sleeping at your job just to try to solve. This dude was around the clock. Can you maintain a family like that? Can you serve your children? Can you properly love your wife? Can you maintain your other responsibilities that you have if you're sleeping at the factory? If you think about
that, just goes to show how comfortable he was.
Yo, if you
he's like,
he had to.
I just go to sleep.
He was driven to. He was having issues. He's having problems just trying to manufacture this thing. There's probably dead time. How you call it? Deadlines. There's deadlines he got to meet. There's things. Probably other investors or whatever. Whoever's jumping on board to help him out.
Now it's exploding. Tesla is huge now.
I know, but at what cost, man? Like at what cost? Honestly,
yeah.
I don't
know about y'all, but I thought that truck was ugly.
It's crazy, man, just to think about, man. Like looking
Tesla
at
the truck was butt ugly, but at the same time, it sold like crazy. It was like
so to count the cost again, like going back to that whole, you want to be great, you want to be the greatest thing, and you slave over something, and it's like, yo, everybody wants the results without the work that it actually takes.
For real, man.
Like we just reading this. We're just like, what topic is this? And this dude is slaving.
Which is why a lot of these dudes on the social media, they be trying to make all this money because that's literally what they sell. Oh, you want a 6-pack? I can get it to you in 3 weeks. And you're like 400 pounds. I can get it to you in 3 weeks. Just give me 3 weeks and you have a 6-pack. Oh, you want to make $1 million? Buy my program and I will make you $1 million within 60 days.
Facts.
That's literally what they're doing. They're prying on that instant gratification. Like people just want the success without actually doing the work.
Or again, counting the cost. Should you even put in the work that's required for that success? Should you even put in the work that's required for that success?
I guess it depends on who you are and what you're trying to achieve and why.
Well, I mean, in this case, is this healthy? Is this a Christian? Can a Christian be this great?
No.
Why? There you go. Now let's get to the meat of it. Why?
In this world? Well, I'm not going to say no, actually. I retract that. And the reason why I say no is because we serve a sovereign God. So if it's in his infinite will for us to be great and we're serving and doing the things we're supposed to, then that can happen. But the way the world frames it, like you got to literally put everything on the line, sacrifice everything to achieve it. No Christian can do that.
You think Lecrae likes to be where he's at?
I believe that there's definitely times where he's like, man, I hate this.
Yo, facts.
I know for a fact there's times where he's like, man, I wish I could just chill with my family.
I say Lecrae because he's the name. You know
of course,
what I mean?
Yeah. He's the one that with the biggest platform in the Christian community. So yeah, I understand. And I know there's no way that he doesn't go certain days where he's like, I hate this.
Yo, facts.
I hate this. Like I just want to go home.
I
just want to chill with my kid. Like, I just want to be with my wife.
Yo, no matter what this dude publishes, it's like you gonna.
They hate on him no matter what.
To be flown.
He could be like, yo, man, I woke up mad tired. And they'll be like, you see? Because in the Bible, it says we shouldn't be resting. That we should be praying without ceasing. And if he's saying he's tired, that means he's not praying. And if he ain't praying, he ain't doing the will of God. And I'm like, man, leave that man alone.
Yo, it's the emptying of self, dude. The selfless servant, man. Like that's the constant wrestle. It's like what do you live for? You're supposed to live as a believer. You literally are supposed to be a selfless servant.
Yeah.
Period. Done. End of discussion.
Yep.
Your brother they come first. Everybody else comes first. For the Christian, The first shall be last, the last shall be first. Everybody comes first.
Yep.
Consider the other person more than yourself.
Yeah.
And we live in an environment and a time where it's all about self.
Look at it.
It's all about vanity.
What is something that is...
Look at the Marrio Esco live show.
But think about it. Yo,
what am I doing? Like,
our God made himself flesh to serve.
Facts.
He literally came down
from his throne to
serve. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's God. He didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
He could have did all the miracles and been like, bam, I'm God, deuces, and left. And it probably would have had the same effect. People probably still would have been like, oh, what? That was God. But he made sure that in his time on earth, he showed to serve. He served his disciples. He served the body. He served the people countless times and countless times. The majority of the bulk of his story was him serving.
That is all he did, was serve. Even in times where it seemed sort of like, I don't want to say selfish, like if the time when he was a child or he was younger and he disappeared from his mom.
Yep. They found him in the synagogue.
And she was upset. She was like, where were you? You know what I mean? I mean, in context, he disappeared. Yeah. So just in reality, your kid disappears, you find out they're over there. Yeah. You could fill in the blank. Yeah. Like, yo, what's good? Like, you don't just run off. What are you doing?
If you're a Latino mom, and it don't matter. Like, Mom, I was teaching in the church. You tell me next time, okay?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yep.
You gotta tell me.
Yep.
I worry about you.
So he disappeared and he went preaching. So in a way, you could say, well, how come he wasn't thinking of his mother in that moment? How come he wasn't, thinking of serving his mother? Like sometimes servanthood can seem, depending on the person observing, selfish, depending on, again, like, what about me? Some people might feel that way. What about me? Yeah. What about me over here? He didn't heal everybody. What about all the people that didn't get healed? What about all us? And you feel like that's how self-centered we are, is that if you bypass one, it's like you failed all of them. You bypass one, you failed everybody. You can't serve every single individual perfectly, which is where wisdom kicks in and trusting in God's sovereignty kicks in. Because you can't have 500 close friends. These are all my 500 close brothers. Like, that's impossible. You can't do that. It's impossible. You got to maintain and develop that friendship. You got to invest in one another and put up with each other and deal with each other's problems and this and that. And now you're confiding in each other and all these other things that go with it. Like, it's impossible to go outside of what you're capable of maintaining. That's just a reality. So in that sovereignty, in the moment, the day to day, you find the opportunities to be selfless and serve. And then in those moments where you're feeling selfish, you got to have a brother that you can confide into. You need accountability. You need to remind yourself that, who you are and who he is. Remind yourself and then keep on going. Keep on going all the way to the end, man. It's like when you start really talking about the realities of life and what it is, man, and you start looking at like Elon Musk and people who are great, it's like you have to sit back and say to yourself, at what cost, man? At what cost?
Yeah.
Because networking, we talked about networking last week, and even Mark was telling us, his perspective that networking
needs to die.
Networking actually births, it births unhealthy relationships, unauthentic relationships.
Yeah.
It's always coming with the, how do I get something out of this? It's not a servanthood.
And that's in reality, because everybody knows that when you networking, you're looking for something out of someone that will serve you.
Facts, bro.
Think
Even
about
to the go to the church.
Yeah.
Like what?
When they're like, yo, go network at this event.
Yo,
What are they telling you to do? They're telling you to go to this event and find someone who will serve your needs.
Facts, bro. I feel like a lot of these ideologies and practices, a lot of this stuff has trickled into the Christianity.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them have been undetected for the causes that they actually birth. The things that like unauthentic relationships is one of them. Like you don't know. You just the gurus are saying network.
Yeah.
You have to do this.
But today's interview was a perfect example of that. Domingo Guyton served his community, and there happened to be a big record label executive who lived a couple doors down.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? His intention wasn't networking. I'm going to network with my neighbors. He served. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to serve my people, and I'm going to extend my house. Facts. I'm going to extend love. I'm going to extend anything that I have to offer to the people around me, and I just want to share that. And next thing you know, God is opening doors.
God bless him.
God is opening doors. Only doors that he can open.
Facts.
So if there's any lesson from last episode to this episode and moving forward, find somebody and serve them. And if you can't find somebody, look to your family. Look to your coworkers. There's always somebody.
Yeah, and if you have been serving and you're beat up to no energy, no nothing, get your eyes off yourself and your situation and put them back on God and remind yourself of who he is.
Amen.
That's always a healthy way to deal with those struggles. The struggles are a struggle because you're looking at them. You're observing the struggles, and which is healthy to do. You want to be able to search your heart and find those issues that you need to address. So that is healthy. But when those things start becoming they start controlling your actions, and you start acting in a way that's not joyful. This is where now you're on the verge of sinning, of responding in a way that's ungodly.
Yeah.
In those moments where you're just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the wrestle is, well, how do I be true to myself? Like, if I am feeling this way, shouldn't I let it be what it is? Like, because I feel this way. And that's always something I struggle with, because they always say feeling is a feeling. It's just an emotional thing. It could be affected because of lack of sleep. It could be lack of calories. Maybe you didn't eat, the right foods. Like, all those things could be a cause of feelings. Mm-hmm. Legit.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't get your proper sleep, Gil, and you wake up with back pains, your whole day is jacked up, and you're barking at everybody.
Anything sets me off.
You're like, yo, I don't care,
Daddy, this crayon's yellow.
I know it's yellow.
Leave me alone.
You wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and it could be a physical reason. It could trace back to a physical thing.
For real.
So they say feelings is like, you can't trust your own heart. It's wicked and deceitful above all things. It's going to tell you to do this or respond this way, or, you should think this way. But at the same time, okay, yeah, fine. Be mature about it. See it for what it is. But at the same time, do you save face, or are you transparent about your struggles? And then this is the thing that I can't stand, when you go to church and you bypass the reality of your pains, and you're just taught to walk in joy. Like, yo, there's only so much you can walk in joy, man. Where sometimes, like, you beat to nothing, man. I don't got the energy to act like this ain't happening. Like, I'm supposed to. If I'm a Christian, am I supposed to fake? Am I supposed to say the Bible says walk in joy? So I'm gonna just suppress everything that I truly feel inside of my heart and my body. I'm gonna suppress it, and I'm gonna walk in joy. Like, is that how I'm supposed to respond, or is there times where you're like,
nah, I think
it is what it is.
I think we definitely. I don't think we're ever supposed to suppress. And the reason why I don't believe that is because even the Bible tells us, cast our burdens, like cast them. You shouldn't keep them anything. That's why we have accountability. That's why we have brothers.
Okay.
Cast them.
I was about the outro, but go ahead.
But that's a fact, you know. So I think that's a dangerous, combination to just take on and just suppress and be like, the Lord is my strength. The Lord is my strength. The Lord is my strength. Until you strangle somebody, you'll be like, the Lord is my strength.
The Lord better be your strength.
Let the Lord be your strength.
You're gonna need the Lord's strength right now, brother.
Yo, but real talk, man. Then you start yelling at your wife at things that don't make no sense. You know I love you, right? I'm sick and tired of loving you the way I love you. When you're like, what? What are you talking about? I'm sick and tired of this. I'm gonna take out the trash because I love you so much.
Yeah.
Like,
suppress.
You should suppress that, honey.
Suppress that. You
make no sense.
You cast it. All right, you cast.
You gotta cast it. You gotta cast your burdens.
How do you cast it? How do you?
For me, what helps me is I talk to my brothers. I talk to you. I talk to my wife. I pray. Obviously, that's like gotta talk to God. But you have to release it. You can't just keep it in and keep it in and keep it in. Because it's destructive, man. Like, we are sinful. So think about this. You are a sinful human being, and these negative thoughts come to you, and you're just suppressing all that negative, thought, all the sinfulness, and just putting it, compiling it on top of the sinfulness you already have inside of you. What do you think is going to happen? By compiling sin on top of sin on top of sin, you just got to let it go and just cast it out and ask God for the strength. Find people that you can confide in and talk to. Be as real as you can. Because if you only thinking about saving face, thinking about what are they going to think about me or what are they going to say about me, you got to find someone you can trust that you can really talk to and just open up, man, and you be surprised what kind of relationships will be built when there's two people sharing their lives with one another. Because I'm telling you right now, you will not be the only one that will be sharing some pain.
That's facts.
You are not going to be the only one. You're not going to be a one-sided conversation. And if the moment that happens, that you're sharing, and the person's always like, well, I don't really go through that. My life is great. That is not a real person, and all they're doing is saving face. They're just saving face, and that's not a true friend. That's not a true person. They just, taking in information and documenting it, if anything. So find someone that you can share with, that shares with you, that can be real with you, and you can be real with them. And I think that it would only enrich your life. It'll enrich their lives. And you just will really experience what it is that God talks about when he says fellowship with the saints. It's more than just, going to church. It's more than that.
Yeah, I agree. Amen. Cast your burdens and keep on believing, right? All right, y'all. Well,
keep on
that's our time.
Believing.
It was a blessing to have Domingo on. Really encouraging. I highly encourage you guys to go back if you guys just jumped in to go listen to Domingo. He's a veteran
for real, man.
in the Christian hip hop community.
Un veterano.
Been putting work in. Highly respectable individual. And we love him, man. I can't wait to chop it up with him tomorrow. But until next week, keep us lifted. You know what it is. Grace and peace. We love y'all.
Love y'all, family.
Latest.
Listening on the podcast, be sure to check out my Facebook music page, Marrio Esco 1. Again, 2 R's in my name, the number 1 at the end, Marrio Esco 1. Be sure to like and follow that page because I like to give updates on who I'll be interviewing and leave a description on what we'll be talking about. And I also like the real-time one-on-one back and forth interaction. If you don't have the time to join us on Facebook Live, be sure to check out my podcast. It's called Marrio Esco Live, 2 R's in my name. Again, you'll see the white silhouette of myself with the cross underneath. Be sure to subscribe to that and follow the link as well to whatever podcast you're using or however you're receiving the podcast, and leave us a review. We love to hear feedback. You can also hit me up at music@marrioesco.com and just hit me up with some feedback and ways that we can improve the show or the things that you like and enjoy. Any type of feedback will be highly appreciated. Grace and peace.